Hi everyone. The dog and I are doing what we do best, chilling out with Gramps. If you know, you know. Um, and there are the fishies that were with me the last time I took a little trip. They're here, and it's good to see them. But I don't wanna, have a very long intro because you're here to judge a man, to judge if he is worthy of redemption. Luckily, we live in a time where people don't get publicly hanged, and there's due process, even though you're basically guilty until proven innocent. But whatever. So this is just gonna be the final chapter of just a little experiment, not sociological, psychological kind of. It was a case study, okay? And this is kind of just the follow-up, which luckily we didn't have to wait too long. Because ENFP in question definitely reached out, I believe all today, and I've recorded his messages from the Anchor app, which I'm still gonna say, if you want to send me a message for whatever reason, or specifically to help get typed, to get your ass typed, that's totally cool. I'm at the end of the day not fragile. I'm pretty tough. I have thick skin, with this person specifically, it's like I don't know them. I don't know what state they were in. I don't know what their baseline is. So I'm gonna try not to judge too harshly. As I did last night, I think it was pretty apparent that I just kind of was like, not absorbing him, but observing him, which is what I do naturally speaking. I just observe. And I know that most of the time, if not all of the time, when somebody's acting out, it really has nothing much to do with you. The saying, hurt people comes to mind, And we do live in a time that's super stressful, it's super stressful. That's why I have a YouTube channel right now, because it's a continuation of my podcast, which I think I've said this before, but just to reiterate, the reason I have this YouTube channel is because I podcasted basically every day for at least 3 months, on Anchor, Tragically INFJ. All of the episodes are timeless. You could tune into any one of them, and I'm pretty sure it would not feel like outdated or anything like that. So anyway, I think I just kind of graduated from there. And also I saw this little, short video clip on, I believe, Instagram. Doesn't matter though. Of this guy saying that, in order to improve, a good way, and this is all not verbatim, but he was like, okay, first tape yourself, on a podcast, and listen to yourself. And once you feel like you've graduated from that, then go ahead and start recording yourself. And that, so that's where I'm at. I'm at the point where I'm recording myself, and I'm just trying to see, how I come off, and what I look like in general, when I'm communicating with people, which I'm already pretty aware of, because I don't know, I am constantly observing everything, including myself, So, and I'll try not to say so many times. I feel like I've already said that 6 times, so kind of hate when I kind of unconsciously say things like that. I had a teacher in high school who did that. He would always say "okay," which was really funny, because the teacher on South Park, and I'm 100% sure that this man did not know of Mr. McKay. I hope that's the guy that did it. I don't know. I haven't seen South Park in a while because South Park is trash, okay? South Park has been trash for at least 4 years. Like, sorry, not sorry. So without further ado, let's get into Redemption Song. So sorry. I have never ever thought for a moment that I could sing, so I don't know why I did that to you guys. I apologize. And I know my laugh is annoying. I do. Trust me. I know everything, man. That was the stick up my ass, or myself going up my own ass, you know, because like I said last night, you know, that when he called me egotistical, it's like, yeah, not the first time I've heard that, and I'm sure it won't be the last. So here we go, 6 minutes in, and we are to judge a man if he is worthy of redemption.
First message. Hey Wendy, so I'm almost through with the first part of the video of ENFP and depravity. I gotta say, one, I think it's really, really cool what you're doing, and you understand the weight of, you know, what you're doing too, and how potentially wrong it felt to do and everything. And I do have to apologize. Listening to that, it's like, man, I sound condescending as fuck, don't I? It's like, shit, I didn't mean it that way either. And like with those like sex jokes, or sex little references, it was supposed to come out as like a joke, like something like a little funny thing, but I think with like the mind state and tone of voice I had, it didn't. Yeah, it had the opposite effect. I apologize for that too. I'm in my 30s too, by the way.
Okay. Nothing really to say there. You know, you can hear that he's kind of beside himself. So, next message. And I feel like I didn't fucking count. I'm so sorry. But I want to say there were about as many as he sent the first time, about 8.
Second message. Hey, me again. So I just got done watching both parts of the video, and that was so cool. The part I didn't like was unintentionally making you feel bad about certain things, and I saw it so condescending and fucking egotistical to like a really borderline unhealthy degree. So that was cool to see, and that's why I like INFJs, because it seems like both types, at least in my experience, really challenge the other one in specific ways, I guess. Because, well, I'll just make another one and explain that, but I'm probably gonna be making a few of these just so you know, so I can get a couple thoughts out. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's very much true. As each other's golden or silver pair, depending on who you are listening to, I would expect each other to challenge the other, you know? Obviously, you know, just from the top of my head, the INFJ is going to challenge the ENFP to be a little bit more base. And the ENFP is going to challenge the INFJ to be a little bit more fun. I don't know. Oh my god! Lipstick. How does it get on the teeth? Like, literally, why? So, that's cool that he kind of accepts what I'm saying as a challenge and not, I mean, he's changed it from, you know, you were being abusive to us ENFPs or just him, whatever, depending on what I said, to challenging, which is a step up in terms of understanding where I'm coming from and just in general how life works. Because life is a challenge. Every day, it's a challenge to get up on time, dressed, like, as I said, like, there's a war on beauty and just in general, true aesthetics. Because nowadays, you literally have people running around in $60 sweatpants, and calling that good. Like, people literally are dressing like bougie homeless men, which, no shit on homeless men, quite the opposite. They apparently have great fashion sense. But it's like, where is the effort, Like, you can't just buy something and call it fashion. Good, trying. Because ultimately, specifically with like sweatpants and stuff like that, it legitimizes the whole lack of a figure, because like on a personal level, and I love actually that I'm bringing this up because I would say this at my last job, and the ENFP woman that I worked with very closely with, whenever I said this, because I probably said it like 3 times in the 2.5 years that we worked together, she would literally, like, I could see the fury just like coursing through her veins when I said this. But I do, on a personal level, believe that women, we peaked in the 1940s. That was when we were at our most beautiful, at our freest, at our happiest. And you know what? It's not even a belief, because most of my beliefs, believe it or not, are based on true, measured facts, for lack of a, like, that was when women were happiest. They weren't as stressed out as they were now, because it was like most of them weren't working. They were just women of their household. They were just mothers. And don't take the word just wrongly, okay? They weren't so fucking stressed out. They didn't have to be a working woman and a mother, because being a mother is already a fucking full-time position, psychologist, nutritionist, part-time school teacher, cook, cleaner, whatever the fuck your husband needs, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, it's like at the end of the day, at the end of the week, your house is trashed, right? Because you didn't have a woman there. Most people are eating shit because they don't have a woman at home to make them good food, So, yeah, anyway, that was a fucking tangent and a half. Oh my God! You guys, lipstick is the devil. Here we go. Next message.
I really like that when you said the empty promise thing. That is so true, and I read about that too. I guess it's like a common thing, at least in my experience. So that's what I'm going to be speaking about. When I made promises to people, and it can vary in degree of, when I make promises, like, the intent is good, and to us, it's like, that's how we really feel, that's what we want to do, or to me at least, Greg's saying to us, but, so we all have, at least I have good intentions, but there's so many issues that, at least I have battled in my life, where things just never seem to work out, and I'm always late for things, and it's like I can never just, not always, but it's a pattern.
Next message. It's funny because I've never actually read anything about ENFPs regarding their broken promises. That's just what I remember from the one that broke my heart, because it's like they can't just say no to stuff, It's like the closest that an ENFP will say to no is maybe, and that sucks, especially when you're in love with them. You're just like, fuck yeah, maybe, I got a maybe. And that's just what I remember. Personal context, I don't actually really read about the types very much. I'm still, I may come off as learned and shit, but like, all I do is study the cognitive functions. Like literally I'll think of a type and I'll go through their cognitive stack, and I might every now and then pick one of the cognitive functions in particular, like their parent or something, and just kind of think, how would that translate? How would TI parent translate, in a person? But I don't actually actively read about the types because, like I said yesterday, it's like a lot of the times, I feel like anyway, you can pick a type, and especially one that's in like, the four sides of your mind, and you can relate heavily to it, and like, if you didn't do the work that is required to ultimately confirm your type, i.e. study the cognitive functions of the type and, find out which ones open up the four sides of the mind, you're not going to know. But like, when I read the INTJ one, it's like, for me, it seems like that's the way that ENFPs feel like when they read the INFJ one. It's just like, damn, yeah, that's me, maybe 90% of the stuff, it's just like, yeah, that's me, And further on a personal level, every time I have taken the test, which is probably about 5 times or so, I have always tested as an INTJ. Every single time. I have maybe once tested as an INFJ, maybe, but like resounding majority of the time, I test out as an INTJ. So take with that information what you will. I'm really just saying it because I really want to clarify, like, bore into my audience. If this is the only message that I actually have as a YouTuber, I don't even eat potatoes, so don't call me that. Sorry, bad joke, horrible joke. Shut up, fucking bitch. Fucking lost your point. I think what I was saying is, I think it's just incredibly important that you give MBTI the respect it deserves by moving past the 4 letters and studying the cognitive functions, the 8 cognitive functions, and then from there getting into the 4 sides of the mind. That's it. Here's the next one.
I think that goes with, well, at least with me, I believe, is because I'm always trying to stretch myself thin unintentionally, because there's like so many interests I have, or so many things I'm trying to get done, plus people that expect things out of me or from me, or, things I need to help with, whether it be physically or whatever, so it sucks. So, and with me, I've always beat myself up when I do fail someone, or I have a shortcoming like that where, I made a promise and I really wanted to do it, and then something happened that fucked it up and caused me not to do it. And then if I get all weird and I feel really bad, then I might avoid the person, which isn't healthy and doesn't really, clear anything up and make anything better. I've made a lot of strides to improve on that, but it's still a struggle,
Next. Yeah, I ultimately have no idea what it's like to be an extrovert or a P, as opposed to somebody who's present. That's what I think the P is for. It's a very present person. I'm just a J, I live not too far in the future, but I am constantly just not here right now. It's very hard for me to be present, quite honestly. Excuse me. And like, forget about just the E part. Like, just being a P I think from what I've observed, it just seems like it's so fun, you know, like life's almost comparable to like a county fair where people are not just people to you, people are like a booth, you know, and every person is like, okay, with this person I get to do these activities behind them, you know, like that's what they have. And so, you know, I don't know, it's like, it's when you go to a fair, you're just trying to maximize your dollar, maximize your time there, your energy, you know, and it's kind of just very it evolves organically, you know, there's no real planning, you know, it's not like Disneyland where it's like, okay, you know, we're gonna do these rides. No, the fair is just like, you know, especially if they don't set it up in the exact same fucking place and every booth is, you know, maybe different, moves around year to year, I don't know. I think for them, the only thing I would say is like, if you say you're gonna be somewhere, be there, you know? If you wanna stick with your maybes, you know, that's fine, I guess, because the people who will know you, you know, maybe they'll be able to tell by the way you said maybe how much it could possibly be a real thing, you know? But maybe also just to put it out there, maybe just say no every now and then, you guys. Like, it's not the end of the world. You know, as somebody who says no all the time, like, trust me, like, people will keep asking, do I have lipstick still? Okay, no. People will keep asking, you know, like, you're not gonna just be frozen out. You're still who you are. You're still the fun guy or gal, whatever, you know, like. And what a great problem to have. Like, everybody just wants to hang out, and I just don't want to disappoint. I don't want to say no. I don't know. Like, that seems like a great problem to have. You know, if you're built for that kind of thing. So I don't really know what to say about that. I don't, like, because that, you know, that is also probably something that varies from ENFP to ENFP a lot, is how much they disappoint. So, you know, whatever level it's at for you, just acknowledge it for what it is and go from there. I imagine it can be a really big problem, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, depending on what your life circumstances are, you know, like, it's probably not as big of an issue as you think it is. But then again, it just depends on what you're flaking on, you know? I don't know. I just can't relate. Message.
And at least from how I view it with MBTI, you have to understand I've only recently discovered it, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. I'm still learning, you know, and it's a lot to learn, you know. Obviously, you've been studying it for a while, and I want to give it the respect it deserves because it's like it's so much more. It's not a label, and it's not a label at all. It really is, you know, the workings of people. And to me, I feel like grade school, it should be required that everybody learns about it, so that there they can understand themselves, and they can have a good idea of understanding those around them, which, in my mind, would create the conditions necessary to, you know, for everybody to just kind of approach life in the best possible way to them, and things would be just, I think people would be more kind, more accepting, more understanding, and then this whole world would be a whole lot better.
Next message. Yeah, I mean, probably, for sure. Duh. I mean, yeah, like, I agree with that, for sure. It's too bad that most people, from what I hear, they kind of learn about it like senior year of high school, where it's like they get tested by the counselor, if they go to their career planning meeting, and they find out then, but yeah, you're right. It should be taught in like younger grades as something that, to find out about yourself, but also to find out that, people are different, and these are the ways that people, perceive things. And yeah, I mean, can't argue with that.
I'm gonna try to make this my last one, but I might do one more if it runs over. I just feel like I was misinterpreted a number of times, or at least partially misinterpreted too with some things. And another thing too, and I know I'm aware of that, was my delivery, my tone of voice, and how I come across, and the words I choose and stuff like that. It's never battle, and it's ever changing, trying to improve, and that's why I like being able to be shown a mirror to kind of like, hey, asshole, like, look what the fuck you're doing, look how you're acting, look how you're being interpreted, like, the fuck you gonna do about that? Do something about that. It's not healthy. And it's not necessarily unhealthy, but it can be, and very easily be, and then not only to oneself, but to others as well, obviously, so I do apologize for all that.
Next message.
Yeah, ultimately, I want this individual and really all ENFPs to understand that, like, you don't know what's best for anyone. I mean, that actually doesn't just go to ENFPs. That goes to everybody. Like, you don't know. And even if you do, sometimes people just have to fuck up, in order to learn. Like last night, I knew I probably shouldn't have made that video, and if I had like a friend or a partner or something, they probably would have been able to talk me out of it, but all that said, it's just like life seemingly is a series of mistakes, and when you can remedy the mistake, it's beautiful. Somebody in my comments recently told me, they wrote down, I don't know what video it was, what I said, but they were like, the message or something, the video that it reminds me of this Spanish guy who said something to the effect of, falling down is okay, but getting up is required. Something along those lines. And yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like you can fuck up, man. Like, it's totally okay to fuck up, as long as it's not the same mistake over and over and over. Or you just stay down, you just kind of like wallow in your self-pity and just kind of, learned helplessness. I fucking hate learned helplessness. And trust me, that's like a personal thing, because I very much like, we're obviously all the product of our circumstances, but at a certain point you have to kind of be like, oh shit, it's starting to rain, I gotta hurry up, a little proactive about your circumstances, because you can only use that excuse for so long. And especially as an adult, like, save your money, choose a new crowd, move, change jobs. Like, we don't live in a communist society. You're not damned, to be a baker your whole life. We don't have arranged marriages here, unless you're that's, but like, for the most part, it's like, we live in America and there is freedom here. Next message. And I really do have to hurry up. This looks like it's going to be a serious rain.
And lastly, with the misinterpreted thing, I absolutely did not call you crazy. You interpreted it that way, and oh my God, no, man, you're not fucking, no, especially with like an introverted thing. Like, no, I understand all that. It's just, I suppose, I slightly enjoy challenging that in INFJs a little bit, just because it kind of makes them think about it, in a different way, or even if it doesn't make them think about it in a different way, it still makes them kind of process and kind of go through the whole thing. And it's always interesting when you hear them explain it, because it does make a lot of sense. And I've spent the last 5 years being in the complete solitude and a hardcore introvert, so I can definitely relate to some of it for sure. But I am definitely ENFP.
Next message.
Look at this ENFP. What's up? I should not have said what's up. Cringe, Wendy. Fuck. I just wanted him to say something witty, because, like, what an ENFP thing to do. God. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that. But anyway. I really don't have anything to say to that one. It's just like, he's like, I didn't call you crazy. It's like, well, you kind of fucking did. But if you want to say you didn't, then fine. That's fine. I'm not, I don't have a scoreboard where I'm erasing and, checking off notes or anything like that. Like, at the end of the day, like, and I've said this many a time to many people, like, I don't give a fuck about apologies. I don't, because words are cheap, right? It's your actions. So, one time it's the saying, shame on you, but the second time, shame on me, So, and especially, yeah, the C word crazy, like, that's mine, where that saying really does apply to that, because when people call me that, it's just like, I don't bother getting hurt. It's just like, okay, you're weak. You just can't handle me, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm a lot to fucking handle. I'm a lot to just look at, like, so whatever. Anyway, I gotta hurry. It's raining.
So to finish off, I suppose, like, this whole thing here is one part reason why I like INFJ so much, because I feel like no matter what type of person is, no matter who they are, there's only so much self-work someone can do. And yeah, of course, there's those that have true enlightenment to themselves and everything, so they're the exception, but I'm saying in general. And that's why it's good, because you are like more the alpha, yeah, for sure, and more direct. And in that video, you were so confident and so self-assured in yourself, and it was so cool to see, man. Your thoughts were just there, And that's cool. And with you wanting to help people, and because of course I share that same sentiment, you really can't, because it's so important to have that mirror to other people, right? So they can kind of see it and improve, and the way you approach it is pretty good.
Last.
Did I come off competent in that also in that video? Like, I don't know, like, I guess so. I do kind of want to apologize. This is just kind of a side tangent. Like, I do want to apologize for the last 2 videos. I feel like I was not very good. Like, I watched them back this morning. Damn dog woke me up at 5 a.m. He just wanted pets. And it was just like, okay, it's 5 a.m. I've only slept for 5 hours, bro. That's fine. I think it's because my mom and or her boyfriend were they were both up this morning. And my mom went to work. Fucking making my mom work on a Saturday. yeah, I just kind of want to say sorry about the video, you know, to even the ENFP in question. Like, I just feel like I was not on, and I could have done better. But it was just kind of like a thing that I needed to get out of my system, because otherwise I was gonna, you know, like I said, be laying in bed and just like stewing on it, which ultimately I basically did, because I was up until midnight. So maybe I got 3 more hours worth of sleep than if I didn't do the video, but ultimately is like, a bitch was tired this morning. So this is his last message.
Message.
You know, I think what a lot of my internal conflict has to do with is the fact that I simply just do not recognize the world we live in anymore. It is not the world that we grew up in. You know, I'm in my 30s as well, and there's so much I just do not agree with and that I find disgusting and wrong. Everything's upside down, and it's like I've learned so much about myself and so much about others. However, I don't understand this world anymore, and it's rapidly devolving into a chaos-filled nightmare, and it's only going to get worse. And I'm in a place in life now where I'm just so lost as to what decision do I make, and where do I go, and how is that going to affect things? Because this world now is just so fucked up, and what society expects of us is like, fuck you, man. You know?
That was it.
So that was it. Society is never going to be perfect, ever. And it's really only up to us to take care of ourselves, you know. That's all you can really do, man. That's all you can do. And it is really basic shit, like what you eat, because ultimately what you eat dictates how you feel, you know. Like, I guess I can take my hair down today, or now. You know, 90% of the serotonin that your body produces is made in your gut. So obviously, you know, that's, your happiness levels are basically dictated by what you fucking eat. So if you're eating, oh God, a lot of shit, it's raining. Can you guys see it? Like, it's a very pleasant rain. Leander, say hi. Hello. You're such a boy. I love you so much. He's puppies. Yeah, I would just say, you know, if you're feeling fucked up, or, you know, fucked off, just in general, and just like really at odds with the world, start with your diet, you know, start with your fucking diet, clean it up, no carbs. The human body doesn't need a single carbohydrate to work. And yeah, you know, if you're overweight, yeah, cut carbs out, and sugar too. Like, you just won't be on this hamster wheel of ups and downs, and your body will work optimally. So yeah, start with diet and work on the energy that you're around, you know, like, are the people around you, do they challenge you and support you and just make you feel good, or are they just kind of super downers who, you know, give you backhanded compliments, stuff like that, you know. It's just like, you don't need to self-isolate, you know, especially as an introvert, extrovert. Like, that's not a healthy sign. That means that you are in your unconscious, or your subconscious, and, you know, well, ultimately you do want to master those sides of your mind, as with all of them. You don't want to spend the majority of your time in them, because they take more energy to sustain, of your energy to sustain. And ultimately, that's not who you are. You know, if you're an ENFP, you're here to be the campaigner, right? Of society. If you are stuck in your unconscious and you're a constant advocate, which is what the INFJ is, that's ultimately not good. You know, like, that's my job. And so, you know, depending on which way you transitioned into your unconscious, you're either going to be kind of like how you were in the video, voice messages that you originally sent me, where you're just kind of like trying to bully me into being a more sociable kind of person. Because yeah, that wasn't the way, right? That obviously wasn't the way. You can't bully anybody into anything. So I don't know. Just I think just work on the diet. Like, that's all I'm really gonna say, because when you clean up your diet, you just are so much clearer about everything. What you want, what you're cognitively processing. And yeah, I just cannot emphasize enough how much food dictates your day-to-day existence, you know? My diet, yes, I've said, you know, I am a carnivore. 90% of what I eat is meat. But I got to this point but for 5-6 years, the first real thing that I did for myself was very, very first thing was I got a blood test, which was, I don't know, like $200 or something. But it told me, you know, hey, bitch, you're allergic to chicken, watermelon, pears, olive oil, just this random stuff. And it was like, okay, you know, and I cut those out, and I immediately felt better. And then after that, very shortly thereafter, if not at the same time, basically, because of where I worked, an organic farm, I decided to eat 100% organic, which ultimately is not that more expensive. It's really not. And it just tastes so much better. Like, I still remember, and I hope I don't cry, because the story always makes me cry. For some stupid reason. Like, UTs are so lucky, you would never start crying because of a stupid story. But like, I still remember trying an organic banana, and it was like the first time I had ever eaten a banana, even though I'd had hundreds if not thousands before that. You know, I was 23. And yeah, it just tasted like candy, like just completely different. And that's when I knew, like, there is definitely a difference between organically grown fruits and produce and conventionally grown fruits and fruits and vegetables. So just transition however you see fit. You know, if you want to go get a blood test, if you want to transition to organic, if you want to just cut out carbs and then sugar, you know, just pick your steps, you know, and make them, you know, gradually until they are all second nature. I was strict carnivore for about a year, but I've actually loosened up recently, and I am now eating tomatoes and guacamole, you know, along with my meats. So life's just a journey, man, and I think it's better when you up the quality of the things that make up your life, whether it be food, people, you know, because from there are byproducts, thoughts, feelings, because of the food that you're eating, because of the people that you're around. I don't know, I wish you all nothing but the best, quite honestly. Like, I really, there's nobody in my past or present, and, my future that I am going to wish any harm on, like, at the end of the day, a bitch is here to promote peace. But yeah, I will be straight up and be like, hey, there's a time and place for everything, including violence. And sometimes I will be violent, but it's always for the betterment of a person or just a situation. And of course, like, just to clarify, like, everyone has violent tendencies. They just come out in different ways. So like, when I get violent, it's intellectually speaking. I got violent last night. I lashed out at somebody. It would have been better to message this person back with a voice message and say, hey, are you okay? Are you in a good state of mind? Like, what's going on? But I got violent and I decided to use him as an example without consent. And, even though I meant no harm, there was no real malice, I did use him. And I, the entire time knew I shouldn't fucking have done that, but I did it. So, like I just said, there's a time and place for everything, including violence. And I think a lot of the times, if you truly mean right and you do it right, in that you minimize the harm as much as fucking possible and you weigh the pros and cons, because ultimately I lucked out. Like, this is an ENFP, and like, as you heard with these messages, like, he really wasn't even that upset. It's not like he was like, I can't believe you fucking did that to me, you didn't even fucking ask if you could fucking put that shit up, like, fucking rude, I'm gonna sue your ass, like, no, like. So anyway, it's up to you whether or not you would like to, forgive this individual. If you even thought he was in the wrong at any point, like, I don't know. Do I think he was in the wrong? I don't even fucking care, dude. I really don't care. Like, at the end of the day, a bitch comes to the river with her dog, sits in the fucking rain, and hangs out and watches fish, like, I'm a very privileged individual at the end of the day, and not much can really piss me off because I know I have it good. And I'm thankful for you, the viewer, especially if you're still watching. Like, I appreciate you listening all the way through, because not just for my sake but for the individual too. Take care, have fun, until next time, bye.